Hi everyone, we are going to get started. This is the second part of the state board video that I'm making for you guys to know how to now prepare the kit. The first one was that we talked about all the things that we need to take with us when we go to state board, and now we are going to put the kit together. So the kit, the first thing you need is you need a Tupperware, a big Tupperware, something like this, which we call a dry sanitizer, and it will have all your products in it that you will need for the day of the exam. Once you find a Tupperware container, I think the length is 23 and the width is about 16. You should try to purchase that and have it ready for you when you are when you have 400 hours. This way, before the time goes really fast and you'll be ready to graduate and you won't have the stress to put the kit together. Now, in the kit, the requirements are you need to have three kind of trash bags. So what we do at school and the way I have taught my students is we get these brown bags and we line them up with the Glad bag, staple them in there. So this way when you go there, you will have to just open the bags and put them under your table. And there are three brown bags. One that will say on top of it soiled linens, one will say trash, and one will say items to be disinfected. So what you do is once you get your bags ready, you get yourself good labels that you will be putting in the front of the bag and in the back of the bag, because you want to make sure that you know where the right bag is under the table, because when you are there, the examiner also wants to know if you understand that where to throw the products in the right trash bag. So these are the first three items that you will take out when you get to state board. You have brown bags that are lined up with the Glad bags. Then you have a bag that's called universal bag, which means that after you have put the trash bags down, you're going to take that bag out and you will start disinfecting the table, the area that you're going to be working on that day. So in the universal supply bags, we call it the universal supply bag. The reason we call it a universal supply bag is this bag, after you disinfect the whole table, these items will stay on the table during the whole examination process. So in this bag, you will need wipes, because we no longer take a spray bottle for disinfecting the table. We use this wipes, and you will use this to go ahead and clean everything on the table. And also you will have this on the table the whole time when you need to clean something. In this bag, the universal bag, you should have the wipes, you should have a hand sanitizer, you should have a set of gloves, you should have a first aid kit that looks like that. The way we have done it, it comes like this, but I just take the front part of the paper and I just put a scotch tape on it here, so it shows that it is a first aid kit. So make sure that the label is there and they know that it's a first aid kit. And then you will have a box of gloves, a box of tissue, and this will all be there in your first bag that is called the universal supply bag. After you have everything in the first bag and you have totally disinfected the table, you can easily remove everything and place it on the table, because now you have a clean table to work on. The next bag that you're going to remove is called the Client One supply bag. The Client One meaning, just like you are in school, you have to get ready to do a client, and we call it to get ready to do a client basically. But at the state board, it's called Client One bag, because you need to make sure that you take everything that you need for that Client One. So in this case, you will need to have everything that you're going to do to the first client, which is cleansing, exfoliating, and massaging. So you need to have a cleanser, you need to have a toner, you need to have an exfoliation product, you need to have a material to exfoliate the product on the face, you need to have a wet steam towel, then you will need a massage product to do the facial massage. So let's look in this bag. So inside this bag, we have these bottles. I hope you all can see. You can get these bottles at the dollar store. And as you can see, we have both sided. We have the labels that say exfoliating product, moisturizer, massage cream, toner, and cleanser. Then we have a little cup, and we have a brush that we are going to use during the exfoliating time. So what we are going to do is put the exfoliator here, and then we'll take this brush and we'll dip the brush in there, and then we'll just slightly gently rotate all over the face. Now make sure that you keep a nice pattern. If you're going to start from the left, you make sure you come from the chin going all the way up to your forehead. Then once you finish that, then you come on that side of the face. So you gently keep rotating the product all over. This brush is very easily available at dollar store. Most of these things we bought at the dollar store, so it's not something that you really have to go and purchase it. These bottles are also available at the dollar store, and you can see we have the moisturizer written in the front and the moisturizer written in the back. The reason we do that is when you place it on the table, you want to make sure that the examiner can see what you are doing, and also for you it's easy to see what bottles these are, because they're almost every bottle has the same product in it. So you just want to make sure that it is both sided and that they can see what it is and you can see what it is. So this will be in your client one bag, because that's what you're going to do. All the services that you're going to give to your client is right in here, and that's how you will set up to do all the services. Now in this bag, we also have a client drape, which consists of a towel, plastic cap on the hair, and a headband. So make sure that you have all those things, because you will need to set up the client and get her ready. So just like at school, you have to put the towel on the chest area, you have a plastic cap that you're going to put on the head, and then you have a hairband. Steaming the towel. So we are going to use a steam towel to exfoliate. After the exfoliation process, you have to show them how to use the steam towel. So you will remove the towel, which we will have it damp the night before you go to take state board. It's not going to be soaking wet, but it's just going to be damp enough. So when you remove the steam towel from there, you have to kind of show them that you know that you're going to test the steam towel on your wrist to make sure that the towel is not too hot before you apply on the client. So I'm going to put all these things back in here, my steam towel, my client drape, and all the products that I'm going to use for the first client. So just remember, I have everything, and do not forget that we also have the mannequin head that we are going to take with us to the state board. Also, we will have the dry cotton and wet cotton here, because what this is what we do is we keep the dry cotton, the Q-tips, the makeup pads, the eyebrow strips, and then we have some wet cottons here. They will also stay on the table the whole time, because this way, when you need something to remove the cleanser, you're going to go to the wet cotton and you'll remove it there. It's okay also if you want to put it in the same bag as your bottles, but it helps if you're going to use these Tupperwares. This way you don't have to worry about it. You know you have always extra if you're going to run out of cotton or anything. So this is something also that will stay on your table during the whole time you're doing the first client. Once you have completed the first client, they will tell you to go ahead and now clean up everything from the table and set up for the second client. So what you will have to do is basically remove everything from the table, get rid of everything that you use for client one, which is like the cleanser. You are not going to use the cleanser again, the exfoliation product, the product that you're going to exfoliate the skin with, the wet towel, the massage product. Just put them all in the trash bag, the items to be disinfected because you're not using it again. And then go ahead, get the disinfectant that is already on the table, wipe off everything, even wipe off the mannequin head that you're going to use, because now the mannequin, for example, is already soiled and everything from the first service that you did. So make sure you wipe her off too. Then put her on the side while you're cleaning everything. So once you have cleaned everything, then you can put your mannequin also back on the table and get the bag out that says client number 2. Now in client number 2, you are going to be again bringing the mannequin out on the table and then drape her. Once you drape her completely, then you're going to get everything out from this bag that's for client number 2. Now in client number 2, the services that you're going to be doing on this client is hair removal for the eyebrows, facial makeup, and blood exposure procedure, and you're going to do a hair removal on the upper lip with the hard wax. So you have to make sure that in the client 2 bag, you have all your supplies. This way, when you have all your supplies with you, you know that you have already checked the bag. And I'm always happy to check your kit before you go to take the state board. And we know that you will definitely have everything in here. You're not looking for things in your kit because technically, since we have everything labeled and put in bags, we don't have anything in the kit. And I don't want you to be going and looking for things in the kit because there should be nothing there except the stuff that you have really taken out. And they don't want you to be going back and forth, because once you have removed the things from the kit, you cannot really go back and put things in the kit. So everything this way, you know, you have outside, and you just remove everything from the bag and set up everything that you would need for a client hair removal of the eyebrows. When you do the eyebrows, you will need gloves, you will need tweezers, you will need antiseptic, you will need a wax applicator, you will need some strips, you will need some soft wax that is going to be for the simulated, which we normally have Vaseline in a little container, and then we just label it saying that it's simulated wax. Something like this. And so you have everything that you need for the removal of the eyebrows with the tweezers and the simulated wax in this bag. Always remember, as you keep finishing the service that you are done, you need to decide where these supplies will go, because you cannot have things sitting on the table. So for example, if you have gloves, they will need to go in the trash. If you have tweezers, they will need to go in the trash bag that says items to be disinfected for later. If you have an antiseptic, you could leave it on the table, because we will again be using it for the hard wax for the upper lip. If you have wax strips, we already have the wax strips in here, so the wax strips will stay on the table the whole time. We don't need to worry about the wax strips because we have them here. You need the wax, which will be in here in a jar, and it's all it is Vaseline, and you will have a post-epilation product. So I recommend whatever you take. Sometimes Gigi has a small kit that says antiseptic and pre and post products in there. If you can get that, please do that. This way you will have that the whole time you are doing the hair removal. And then also when you use it for the hard wax, you don't need to remove it and put it in the trash. You just leave it on the table for the next service, because you know you're going to be using the items again. So just remember, everything that you need for the client number 2 is in one bag. After that, you're going to do a facial mask supply. So you will have to make sure that the mask you take has color. You cannot take a mask that has no color, because they technically really want to see you apply the mask and how you apply the mask with the brush. And you need to make sure everything is in color. So as you can see, this is the mask and this is the little brush that we are going to use it. And there is a cup in there also that we will remove the mask in there, so it'll be easy for us to use the mask. When you finish the mask, you have to make sure that you wipe the skin off, and then you will use a toner, and then you're going to put the moisturizer on. So that's exactly like you do at the school. And then once you finish these plastic bags, you just basically fold them like that and trash them. And make sure you fold them, because otherwise if you just dump them like this, what happens is your trash bag is going to be really full. So there's a nice easy way to just keep folding them and trashing it in the bag, because you can always come back and use them and organize your kit again. The next step would be the facial makeup. So in the facial makeup, you will again have to drape your client. You will have to again use something to drape her. We have a bag in here that has everything that we need during the facial makeup. So just remember, you can use a towel, or you can use a bib like that they sell at the dollar store, like a kid's bib. You can use that also for a drape if you find it. If you don't find it, just go ahead and use a towel. So we have a towel here that we are going to use for a client's drape. Then we have a headband that we are going to use for her. Then you need something like this, a palette. I don't know if you can see, it has 6 little pockets in there. So what you will have to do is you will have to remove all the products that you're going to be using in here. So for example, you would put some foundation here, you will scrape some of the blush on here, you're going to scrape some of the eyeshadow here, and then you're going to use this directly. You're going to use whatever applicators you want to use are in here. Also, you have the sponges that are here, so you would just dip it in there and use it on a client and then trash this, and that's how you're going to do the whole face makeup. You also need a lip pencil for the lipstick, and you need also a pencil for the eyeliner. These, you don't need a sharpener anymore. You just take brand new pencils and you can use those. And the same thing goes with the lipstick. You will just scrape it off a little, put it in the palette, and with the lip brush, you're going to go ahead and apply the lipstick. For a mascara wand, you cannot directly use the mascara wand, so you're going to hold it like that, and then go ahead and use a brand new mascara wand and use it for a mascara. What I try to tell students is, if you have some dried out mascara wands at home, just keep them like that, because what will happen is when you go to State Board and you open your mascara wand, you don't want it to be brand new, and then it's going to mess up your fingers and hands, and that's another thing to start cleaning. So if you have a dried out one, that's perfect. This way you just basically, you're just pretending, you're not really doing it. So that's the bag that has all your makeup supplies. And as you can see, it says makeup supplies, so please make sure that everything is properly labeled. Once the makeup is all done, we don't need to have this bag, so we will just get rid of stuff wherever we think. If there's the drape, we need to put it items, soiled items. If all the products, we will say items to be disinfected, so we get rid of everything, so there's nothing on your table. Then comes the blood exposure procedure. As you know, the blood exposure procedure, we already have the blood supply, first aid kit already on the table, so we will go and use that. So in your blood supply kit, you are going to be having some wipes in here. Try to open it up and make sure you don't have too many things in there. You want to make sure that you have a double bag. I'll explain to you why. Then you have something like the alcohol prep that you are going to use to wipe the wound. And then you just need a band-aid to apply on the wound. Make sure you don't have too many things in there. The reason for that is it's just not necessary, since you are only doing it on the forehead. You are going to, the minute the wound takes place, you quickly put the gloves on, which you already have on your table. The gloves will be, the box will be sitting there. You put your gloves on, then you open the first aid kit, you take your cotton prep and you just wipe it in this area. Then you go ahead and put it in your bag, and then you can just go ahead and apply the antiseptic and you put the band-aid on. Now what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that in that kit you have a double bag for disposing of the blood. So you will have a little bag inside another bag, and what you will do is you'll take that bag and just kind of turn it around like a little pocket and have it sit on your station. So every time you use something like disposing of the blood first, you are going to put it in here. Then you're going to get rid of the paper from alcohol, you'll put it in here. Then you're going to use the antiseptic, you're going to use the band-aid, do the same thing, remove everything, put it in here. Then when the procedure is finished, you take your gloves off, you kind of double take them off so you don't contaminate anything. You put everything in this bag, seal it up properly, put it back in this bag, seal it up like I showed you before, ziplock it, totally sealed, and then you trash the bag. So that's your blood procedure. Now, once you have finished with that, you're almost finished. The last part of your test is the hair removal on upper lip using hard wax. Now, the thing is, you have to understand that you are going to have to take a wax container with you. So in this case, you have to make sure that the wax that comes with the container, you cannot take it most of the time because it's not hard wax, it's soft wax. So you can purchase empty cans online, maybe from Amazon, and what you do is you put it in there and then you just get yourself some hard wax and put it in there. The wax should be enough so you can just technically just do it for one client, because what they do is once you get there, they are going to have you take this wax pot out and go and plug it in. So you're going to be plugging this wax pot right before you start taking the exam, and so you cannot really have a can that's really full, because you never know when they are going to tell you, now go ahead and get your wax container and start the procedure for hard wax. In the hard wax kit, you have the same thing, which is the wax heater I just showed you. You have gloves sitting on your table. You have antiseptic that we use for the eyebrows. You have cotton rounds to apply the antiseptic. You have spatulas to use during the hard wax, and then you have the post epilation product. So as you can see, most of these items we did not throw them away when we did the eyebrows, because we knew that we still have to do the hair removal for the upper lip. So we left the antiseptic, we left the wax applicators, and we left the post epilation product on the table. So when you come to that point, when everything is done, you just go ahead, finish this thing, finish the last part of your exam, and when you're already done, you just step back, and then they're going to say to you, okay, now go ahead and start cleaning up. Now this part also is part of your exam. You cannot just rush out because you're excited that you're all done. No, you have to make sure that just like you brought everything together, you have to now take everything back. So you don't want anything left on the table. Put everything back in the kit, or put everything back in these trash cans, trash bags that you have. Also get a wipe, a disinfectant wipe, clean the whole area, and make sure you leave everything nice and clean for the next person. So I hope this helped you how to put the kit together. If you have any questions, I'm always here to help. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Recording stopped.